Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Uh,
guys.
hello. Welcome to this super webinar, Visual Management of your Jira. I'm present myself. I'm Raúl Pérez, acá Mr. Addon, and I'm Solutions Director in TecnoFor. And we have Victoria.
Yes, hello, guys. Hello, everybody. So, my name is Victoria. I am technical architect here in TecnoFor, and we will be presenting this webinar for you. We will be talking about visual management for your Jira. So, the idea is that we are going to empower our users, admins, and managers with the best visual management plugins, enhancing more the visual of our Jira and getting it better. So just giving you a quick agenda here about the topics we are going to talk about today. We are going to have a brief introduction, understanding why visualizing your process is important. Also, we will be introducing Kanban combined whip for Jira Cloud and new status color pro, our plugins in here, and we will be understanding the benefits of visual management. In the end of the session, we will be giving you some tips from our experts about how we could be improving and getting better our visual management to get more success into our projects and work. And in the end, we open for questions and answers. Please feel free to type your questions and ask if you have any questions at any moment. We will be really glad to help you. So the idea is turning our Jira boards and our Jira projects easier to manage and make it easier to work with. So, for example, here we can see that we have the normal previous Kanban board that we had. We had some improvements in there also we will be describing, but we can turn it even better, maximizing the power of our tools and improving it into all aspects. So you have a quick look at your board and you can understand and check the important topics as fast as possible. So let's have some introduction in here. We will be exploring the importance of visualizing the process and getting it better and more effective. Also discovering some plugins in here that helps us to achieve the visual management excellence. And the goal of this session will be also to understand how we could be enhancing our collaboration, improving the efficiency, and getting more power to our users and administrators, actually, mainly the managers and the admins, in order to improve our instances and the place where we are working with into our juras. Okay, so why visualizing the process is important? It helps us gaining more comprehensive, actually having an overview, a big picture of the entire process in an easier way. We will be facilitating a lot the process improvement in order to help and removing the gaps and the lacks of efficiency from our teams, since we are removing these bottlenecks, making the information easier to understand and also really transparent, so we are understanding it better and the team is collaborating and working in a better environment. It will be quickly to assimilate in order when we are using this kind of plugins and improving our Jira, since we could have an easier visualization of our process and understanding it better, how it's working, how it's organized. For example, in here we can check that one of the functionalities that we could be adding into our projects and our entire Jira is changing the colors of our statues into our workflows. So it facilitates a lot to identify. We know that we have default colors into our Jira instances, though that are just a few ones, and normally we have the same colors for the final status, for example, the closed, the canceled one. In this way, in here, we can change and update these colors in order to identify better when it's canceled, when it's closed, when it's in progress, when it's open. It makes it easier to work with. Okay, so right now, let's talk about the Kanban combined with for our Jira Cloud. So let's have an introduction about how it works and what is the idea of using this Kanban combined whip in order to locate the work in progress really in a faster way, just in a blink, when you are just taking a look at the page and you understand already what you have and what you need to work with. So we are improving it with leverage color codes, sorry, for quick information retrieval, and also we are reducing the errors and the mistakes that the teams are doing, since the information is not really transparent and easy to understand. In this way, we take everything much better and easier to work with. So we can see into our boards whip limits into combined columns. So we can have this combined whip limit and grouping our whip limits from the different columns into one. For example, in here we have select for development and in progress columns. In both columns, we have a maximum of 2 cards per columns that we should be working. So the limit of our column is 2, but we have also a group limit of 4 into the development section, that it's grouping select for development plus in progress. So we are in here having 3 cards into the in progress column, and we are breaching the limit in here of this whip column of development. That's why it's marked in red to signalize and make it easier to understand that we have something that it's not working as expected, that we identified that we are reaching a limit in this case. Okay. We can also have more flexible board views by using this Kanban combined plugin, and we will be able to collapse and expand the columns in order to customize the workflow. We can update our board in the way that it's better for us, and having just the information that we need to work with at the moment. We can remove unnecessary information. So if we are just worried about here the information related to the development column and the QA column, we could be removing the backlog column, the closed column, and the review column, and just having the big picture of our board with the information that it matters for us at the moment. We could be configuring in this way, achieving also the workflow that best fits for the person that it's using the the Jira, the board, and it will not affect the other people from the team, since this configuration can be done per user as well. You could be unifying these group columns and generating buffers within the boards. Okay, so in here, we have an example showing exactly this information that I was describing with you, when we are removing the unnecessary information that we are not worried about at the moment, since what we need to check at this point when we are reviewing the board is what we have in development and in QA, so we can have an easier view of our board. Also, we could be optimizing the limited screen space. We could prioritize just the information that it's essential for us. Also, we have an additional scroll that helps us on maximizing the information into smaller screens. If we are working into tablets, for example, we could be using this functionality in order to facilitate to us when we are using, since this doesn't exist by default into our Jira instances. Also, the card colors, they are going to give us an additional dimension of our information. We could be uh, we could be indeed using the advanced color coding with JQLs in order to set the colors that we are defining to our cards and how we are working with. And the transition from one color to another, they could be based on specific conditions that we add and configure into our boards. So in this way, we are focused only on what matters to us without losing the control of our project. So it facilitates a lot. Here we can observe into this board that we have this zoom option that I was mentioning to you in order to facilitate in smaller screens. We have here the color definition, the button in order to show us also when we have some WIP limit that it's being reached, or the definitions of the colors that we gave into the cards and configured into the boards. And in order to enhance the context and personalize better our boards and our information that we have into our projects, we will be using customizing the board based on the user and on the teams. We can change the backgrounds per team as well, or per user. It helps a lot in order to identify in a really fast way the context that we are working. If we are working in a project for the client A or the client B, we can identify in a really fast way by using this personalization and improving the visual recognition and user experience of people from the team. In this way, we can differentiate a lot. For example, if we are working in a project with uh, Barcelona or Real Madrid teams, we can identify really fast if we are talking about one project or another one, changing the background of our boards, for example. And something additional that we have also into this plugin is the swim lanes for work classification. We could be identifying and categorizing the types of work based on the swim lanes, prioritizing the urgent tasks in a top level, in a higher view, and the less urgent at the bottom. So we can check the blocked tasks, the more urgent ones that we need to be um, working firstly, then the others, identifying in this way. The indicators also will help us into the swim lanes to identify the number of cards that we have in each swim lane, and if we are exceeding limits per swim lane as well. As I was showing to you that we have the WIP limits per column, we could also be working with these limits into the swim lanes. We can identify and set that in a swim lane we are going to have only five tasks in the maximum, five issues that could be in that swim lane, for example. And something that we could be working also are the explicit policies in order to give us a clear context of our project, of our work that we are doing into the issues that corresponds to a specific column, for example. So we can define these explicit policies and display them into the columns that we are working in our boards. This help us on having an agile visualization from our rules and also norms, and avoiding the explicitly mentioning Kanban to accommodate all users. So for example, in here, we have the specificity policies that were defined for those columns. So we can define that in order to accept that a card, an issue that I am working into this issue is completed and I have finished the work that needs to be done in here, I am going to um, confirm that I am achieving all these explicit policies into these issues. For example, it's agreed with the developers, it's the design is completed, and the developers are informed about technical special details that were required, for example. And it's also compatible with the new dark mode from Atlassian. So you could be using this plugin even if you are setting the dark mode into your Jira instance, it will work fine. It's completely compatible. The only thing is that the colors they change a little bit. For example, in here it's not the red, dark red, when we are breaching a limit of a column, for example. It's in blue because it's the color that matches with the dark mode, but it works in the same way. Also for the swim lanes, the weight limits for the other cards, and the other functionalities that we have mentioned, like zoom, scroll, and the definitions into the policies, for example. So right now, let's start a quick demo in order to understand better how it works and check in a real use case how we could be defining and using this plugin.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. Let me share my screen. And this is my screen. Okay, could you see my screen, Victoria?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Thank you for coming to this super webinar. And as you can see, I am displaying to you this is a Kanban board in Jira Cloud, okay, in Jira software. And this Kanban board is already configured to combine the columns, okay, in that case for committed, for development, and for QA. And as you can see, we have this toolbar, okay, as extra because it's not in the default Jira Cloud. But if you install the plugin to your browser, okay, to install the plugin to your browser, you only need to, or the users need to go to apps and Kanban Web in order to install this plugin, okay. Once installed, you can see how this toolbar, and with this toolbar you can display some things, like you can try to, for example, to collapse some columns. Let's see, for example, let's remove the backlog, the committed, let's remove the closed columns. And as you can see, we can work with this view, okay. And if I need to return to the previous view, I only need to click in collapsed span, and I can see the general view, the full view of this board, okay? Then I have different visualizations in the same board. I can work in this visualization or I can work in this other, okay? If you need to reset this the collapsing of the columns, we need to click here, and the columns are restored, and you can again remove the noisy columns, okay. Okay, for the explicit policies, as Victoria said, we can show these explicit policies or hide the explicit policies, and the board admins and Jira project admins can agree these policies and modify it, okay. We can add new policies, for example, in order to commit all the definitions are clear. Okay, and this can be a norm in order to transition this ticket or task to the next column. Okay, as you can see, in each column we have different policies or norms. All the team can see these norms or policies, but remember, only project admins and board admins can change these policies. It's interesting because the old way to do this was doing checklists, but the checklists are not working in a lot of teams because the problem is they check all by default. Okay, then the best way, in our opinion, because we have done some analysis, it's to display this information within the column in the header in order to be more clear and faster for them in to achieve and assimilate these no, these rules and norms. Okay. More things, more things. As you see, we can combine these columns. To combine columns, we use a trick. We go to the set board settings section of the board. And as you see, we use this trick, this character, okay, in order to split these columns. In this way, the system knows how to combine. Okay, let's combine, for example, this part, okay? Let's put here development, okay? And this column, as you see, is development, this other one is development, and this other one development. Then, in other words, when we return to the board visualization, we will see these three columns merge, okay, or combined. In the same way, is combined the width limits, okay. In that case, it's 3, 2, and 2. Then it's 7, okay, and we have 6 cards in this column. As you see, we can also get more space in the view if we collapse the header, the combined header. Mm, and imagine we are in a laptop. Then the screen usually is smaller, okay, and in that case we can click in scroll in order to see the cards more large and with more information, and it's more easy to work in this way, okay, if you are in a laptop. You will see a scroll bar. It's appear in the usual Kanban board, and if you need to see again all the complete picture, we can click again in scroll, and we will see the picture. The same we can do with the zoom. We can change this zoom in order to fix or fit to our screen. Okay. More things. As you see in this board, we have different swim lanes configured. We have the expedite with the most important task in the upper part of the board. Okay, we have the rest of tasks in this swim lane, but as you see, we have also limit whips configured by swim lane, okay? And we can see also here block or cancel tasks in another swim lane. And as you see, we can focus only in, for example, in the expedite or block or cancel only in expanding these swim lanes, okay? About the whip limits, how to configure it? Very easy, very easy. We go to board settings, okay? We go to swim lanes, we configure these swim lanes, okay? And after that, we can change the swim limit, the swim lanes whip limits, okay? Let's change 2 by 3, for example, in expedite. If these settings are stored in the board, then all users can see these whip limits. If we go again, we will see that now it's not red, it's in green because we can have until 3 tasks in this swim lane. More things about the color of the cars. As you see, these cars have a full color. The default color for Jira is white, okay? It's the white color. And you can see this line with the configure color, okay? How to configure this color is the standard way, okay? We only click in color in order to see full colored cars. But if we go to board settings, the definition of these colors are the default ones. In other words, um, we click in car colors and we can set by priorities, by issue types, and change the color. In that case, is the color depends on the priority. Okay, for highest is more red, and for lowest is yellow or practically white. Okay. Uh, more interesting things, as Victoria said, in board settings. If we go to general, you can enable for example, a background. Okay, we can set a background from here, or we can we can enable or disable this board image for the team. Okay. Then all the users that take a look to this board will see this image, and they can try to remove or change this image also. To the unselect, just click here, and you will have also the white background. Okay. Let's try also to change the theme of Jira in order to see that part. How to change? Let's change to dark. As Victoria said, the wheel limit is in blue in that case. Okay, because it's the default color for when you exceed the limit in this column for Jira. Okay, but if it's a little bit aggressive, you can change for the light mode, and it's like a cyan, blue, more clear. Okay, more soft. I mean, my favorite one is the dark mode, as you know, and it's I use it a lot. Let's do something. Let's change to again to the original one in order to let's exceed the limit for the combined whip, and you will see this combined header will be red. Okay, let's change, for example, this ticket. And as you can see, this in the inQA column, there is the limit width is respected because the maximum is 2. And in the done column, we have one card, but there is no maximum. But the combined columns, these both combined columns, as you see, exceed this limit because are 3 tasks. Okay, in this way, we can have a signal in the header. Mm, okay. Any question or something, Victoria, in the chat?
No, nothing at the moment.
No? Okay. We let's stop this demo, and if you have some questions, we can answer in the last part of the session. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Raul.
Thank you, Victoria.
So let's continue in here, guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, let's continue talking about the new Status Colors Pro for Jira Cloud. It's our second plugin that we will be demonstrating to you today, and an introduction about how it works and how it could help you. It helps unleashing the power of color codes for improving the understanding of people in the team. Also, audit tickets transitions in an easier way, just checking the panel, just checking the board, having a really quick overview of the time also that has been spent into each status. So this is another functionality we will be seeing in more details soon. So um, we could be checking in here, for example, the amount of time that we spent into each status of our workflow. We can observe directly there under transitions into our issues, and we can check that it takes 10 seconds, 2 seconds, a day, 3 minutes, 1 hour. We have the information all in here signalized as well. So it's really good because this doesn't exist also by default into our Jira. So the idea is using colors in order to improve and facilitate our lives. Since we are working with the teams and getting a really easy the information that we need, just taking a look at our board or dashboard. Also, this is completely compatible with our dashboards and gadgets. The colors that we could be changing and updating into the instance, they are going to be presented into your dashboards as well with no problem. Okay. And also, it's completely compatible with the dark mode, just changing a little bit the color, the intensity, but it's completely compatible. It would be working fine as well. Okay, so right now let's have a second demo, but about this new plugin and just understanding how we work with these different colors. So let me move
Okay,
the
thank you,
screen to help.
Victoria.
Thank you.
let's let's go ahead and could you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, how to configure these colors in statuses? This is a task that must be done by a Jira admin. Okay, it's needed to be Jira admin in order to change these colors. Well, where to change these colors? We usually go to the sorry, uh, to issues, and we go to statuses. And you will see, for example, we put between parentheses and in lower cases the name of the color. Okay, all HTML color lists are compatible. You can put dark green, yellow, cyan, pink, gray, spring green. Okay, all the entire color list. I think it's more than 100 colors. Okay, and as you see, for example, for backlog or for selected for development, we have colors. And in committed, we have the spring green. The only way to change the color is clicking edit. And in the description, we set between parentheses and in lower cases the name, okay, the name of the color. That's all. Okay. After that, this is automatically updated in all clients, okay? But one important thing, all users need in order to see these new colors, need to click here in apps new colors in order to install the app in his favorite browser, okay? And in this way, we'll see all the colors in every part of Jira, Confluence, not only Jira, because it's for Jira Service Management, for the customer service portal, when you edit a workflow, when we configure a Kanban board, okay? And in this way, it's very useful because remember, in Jira, we have only three categories and three colors, okay? The to-do color, that is gray, the in progress that is now is blue, okay? And the done that is green, okay? Then resolve, close, cancel, deny it. These final statuses will be green, but cancel and deny it has a negative context. Okay, then it's better to change the color of this negative context in order to enabling see this ticket is cancelled, this ticket is discarded, or is denied, or filed, or what you need. Okay. The same happens in the waiting statuses or blocked or on hold. Okay, when we have something blocked, it's interesting to display the same color. Okay, in my opinion, orange is a good color because it's not red, but it's not green. Okay, the orange color is best in order to mark or detect the statuses in waiting or block. Let's see the results. Once the Jira admin configure this, if we go to, for example, let's do a search. Let's put here more days. We see the colors in the statuses, as you see. Okay, a lot of colors. If we enter in some of them, let's enter in here. Okay, as you see, when we click in block in progress, we can go to in progress or to cancel, but it's red, okay? It marks no, do not transition to cancel. But if it was green, you can do a mistake and transition to cancel. And it is horrible for the metrics, this, okay? If we go also to the view workflow, you will see the workflow is also colorized, okay? And we have close in green and cancel in red. The waiting status or blocked statuses are in another color, in that case in orange. Well, more things. Let's go to transitions. Well, this transitions panel, to see this transition panel, you don't need to install the browser app because it's installed inside the Jira Cloud. Okay, and we can see the timing status in each transition status. Okay, and the seconds, minutes, or days that it's in this status. Well, more things that we can do is if we click in this icon or in this badge, we can see the grouped transitions. Imagine to see the grouped transitions, we see cycles. Okay, let's do a cycle. Let's go to in progress, and after we go again to block in progress. Okay, then if we go to group transitions, audit transitions, let's refresh for. If we go to transitions, we can see there is two repeated transitions because it's a cycle. Okay, then if we click here and put grouped transitions, we see the cycle because we have transition to the from in progress to blocked in progress 2 times. Okay, and as you see, we have different views in that case, but also we have the timing status view. In that case, we can see the status and the time spent in each status of this ticket. Okay, in days, minutes, and hours. And and of course, if you have the plugin installed in your browser, in order to see the colors, you will see the different colors in each status. And it's interesting because we to look for the in progress, we look for the yellow color, and then it's easy to go. This is the yellow, 6 seconds. Okay. Well, let's go to another part. Let's see, for example, in a service management project. If we go to a service management project, the same happens in the queues. We can see the status colorized. We can try to change to another status or view the workflow. The workflow also is also colorized. Okay. We can go also to the customer portal. Let's go to the customer portal. Customers, sorry, channels. Let's go to the health center. Okay, and I have a request. Let's see my request. And as you see, is in yellow, is in progress, and is in yellow. If I click in the issue or in my task or my request, it's as you see in yellow and in progress. It's easy for the user to see the status of his tasks. Well, not only it's compatible with Jira Cloud and Jira Service Management and the customer portal, it's also compatible with Conference Cloud, okay? Because in Conference, you can put a page with a list of issues of Jira and see the status. And in this case, the status is colorized too. I don't know if I have here a conference. Let's see if I have a conference. No, I think no. I think no. Sorry. In this space now. If we go also to the Kanban board, okay, let's go to the Kanban board. If we go to the settings of this Kanban board in columns, you will see also the statuses are colorized. And it's okay. We can see, for example, we have in the same column different statuses, one for in progress, another for the block in progress. And the same here, we have one for in QA and another in orange about block in QA in the same column, okay? And well, it's compatible, of course, with the for superheroes of the night for Batman's. Okay, and as you see, it's totally integrated, fully integrated with Jira Cloud and all the Atlassian cloud environment in reality. Okay, any question?
Yeah, we have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Uh, can you also use the combined columns for the standard Jira metrics? For
Uh,
example, cycle time per combined columns.
we are developing new features about this, about the metrics, and yes, of course, we will in the future. I don't know if in 2-3 months, but you will see news about this plugin because we will introduce some metrics, and not only at the level of the issue, if, also in the level of a project. Okay. Any more questions?
No, this was the only one there.
Okay, thank you.
So thanks a lot, Raul. Let me continue sharing here.
Sorry. For
Go
the
ahead.
can you also use the combined columns for the standard GM? No. But let me share again. Sorry, Victoria, because
Okay, no problem.
I missed to show the the dashboard because we can colorize the Jira dashboard. Let's change this for the theme for original. And if we go to this dashboard, for example, the status colors plugin is compatible with the standard gadgets of Jira in dashboard. You can use the two-dimensional filter statistics gadget in order to show the statuses and epics or assignee, and the statuses will be colorized, of course. And the same happens if you use the filter results gadget. Okay, it's important because we can in a blink we can localize the in progress issues, etc. Sorry, thank you, Victoria. That's all.
No problem. Thanks a lot. And also, we could be using the dark mode also with the dashboards. Works fine.
Yes.
So, guys, to give you a summary of the benefits of using this visual management and improving the visual from our Jira, uh, as we were mentioning until now, we are improving the collaboration of the team and the efficiency. We avoid the errors and we identify the errors faster also in order to resolve it. We make it transparent and comprehensive for the team, as Raul was mentioning, that so many times people are working in the teams and they confuse, since the color of the canceled and resolved is the same one, and they click on cancel and they cannot reopen the issue. So this breaks our metrics, breaks our reports and everything later on. So it's better to improve and avoid this kind of actions, since just changing in a way the visual of our status makes it much better and avoids this kind of problems. So we are going to have the reports that are going to be better and more concise. We have the information really accurate and also helps us in our decision making, empowering the users and the admins, as we were mentioning before. So in order to start using the plugin, we recommend installing the plugins and trying the full potential of those plugins we were just showing you. In order to start the experience, you could be adding it. It's free, up to 10 users, so you could be trying and using it in order to check the capabilities and all the features, and exploring the best of the plugins, as we were mentioning in here. Okay, so right now some tips from our experts about how you could be working and making your life easier related to this visual management. So the best practice in order to leverage the visual manage in here, it's always following the insights from the industry experts and also the experienced users, proving strategies for maximizing the productivity of the team and the project and also having more value. And here also we have some other tips, like the idea is keeping it simple, going straight forward to the information that it's really necessary and that matters for you. So it makes everything clear and easier to work with. um, Defining the columns in a easier way, doing the part of the combined whips of the explicit policies facilitates a lot also the work for the team. So we could be using visual cues in order to improve the way that we are working with our teams as well, and using the work limits, the limit work in progress into our columns and also swim lanes helps us on identifying all the gaps, if we are um, already late into some activities and we need to get faster since we are already breaching the limit and having information that it's lacking in the feature, for example. So it's really nice to work with the WIP limits. Also, we will be fostering transparency by using all these configurations into our boards. We will be updating the board in a really faster way and easier way, identifying all the bottlenecks that we have into our issues and need our attention, in fact. And also using meaningfully metrics helps us a lot on working with our activities, checking the lead time, the cycle time, in order to also gain insights of the team performance and identifying the areas that we need to improve. We also recommend to experiment and iterate. So working with iterations helps us a lot since we are going to have uh, small small iterations and having more delivery of our activities. So everything is more transparent. We can identify better if that's exactly what we need or if something is missing. So it's really good to work with this way. And some resources and support that we are letting in the material for you as well. This material will be available for you. You're going to be receiving also this information. We have access to the documentation and tutorials of all the plugins that we were mentioning. And you can always reach out to the support team if you need any assistance or guidance. You can also stay updated into our networks, and you will be seeing all the news and the last updates about the plugins. So here we left some links about the plugins that we were describing to you, also the versions for data center and the link for our support portal, as well as the email that you could be sending to us and reaching us from through this email as well. And finally, let's open for some Q&A session. So, do you have any questions? What do you think? Something to share? Please just type in the chat and we will be answering.
Exactly. No questions by the moment. Okay, okay. Okay. Let's close.
Okay, guys. So, thanks a lot. Just stay connected and please uh, don't hesitate on reaching us if you have any questions. You can join our community, visit our website. We are constantly having some new webinars and events that could help you on improving the work you are doing into the companies. Okay, so please just feel free to contact us. Here's some extra information. You can contact me and Raul through our emails, also LinkedIn and the Twitter from the company.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Uh, okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Have a nice day.